All right, Ken Stout and Brian Olson ready to call the We Rock Pro Modified category, presented by General Tire. We're in Attica, Indiana. It's about an hour west of Indianapolis. And, of course, our good friend Rob Klepper will be up there in the rocks as well. Amazing equipment out here, but very tough terrain. It is very difficult to win in this form of motorsports. There's no shortage of rules, and you've got to be spot on in rugged territory that is anything but. Let's get it down to Rob Klepper for more.
It's a hot and humid day here in Attica, Indiana. We're at the Badlands, and it's time to go rock crawling. Pro modified style, 4 obstacles for these teams to face. When we say teams, very precision rock crawling here today. It takes a driver, it takes a spotter, and of course a great vehicle to get over these obstacles. 4 obstacles. They all climbed them yesterday. Derek West right now leading the points coming into the 4 that they are going to tackle here today. But it's all about the points or lack thereof. It's kind of like golf. Lowest score wins. You get penalty points if you do something that the officials don't like. If you hit a cone, if you have to back up, if you have to use the winch, or the big one that will take 40 points onto your score, that will be timing out. 10 minutes or more to cross an obstacle, that's a problem. Rock crawling at its best here in the Badlands.
And let me just tell you what, as we get ready for our course number 1 here with the Pro Mods, they call this place the Badlands for justifiable reasons. It is a tough course, maybe one of the toughest in the world.
Okay, we'll get things started here. You can also hear the rain falling. That just adds a little something to it. Derek West and spotter Richie Keller. Richie also a driver, so it's good to have a spotter who also understands what the driver's going through. Now keep in mind, if the spotter touches that vehicle, they will start adding points.
Josh Wilson, Rusty Bray, and as you mentioned, Ken, adding points here is detrimental, not advantageous. You want to have your numbers as low as they can be.
And unfortunately for Rusty Bray, you can see he clipped a cone as he was going down there. It was cool to watch that machine lift up that right rear tire, though. It has to be an eerie feeling inside of those things as well when you get on such a sharp degree of angle. Blevins and Craig going at it. There's a lot of technology in here. Independent brakes, independent steering. They can do a lot of stuff.
And no cookie cutter machines here in this category here of Pro Modified. And what I mean by that is no 2 vehicles literally are alike. Justin Lawson, his spotter Cody Keller, and there are some added points already as 1 cone down.
Yeah, it seems as though getting through that gate without hitting that cone is next to impossible. We'll find out if anybody else can do it a little earlier on. So an addition of 10 points there.
You know, it's weird that we compare this to golf, but the only real way that you do is because you want your score to be low. And I guess at the end of the day, the spotting of the cones could be similar by nature to the day by.
Welcome back to the World Extreme Rock Crawling Championship Series, better known as We Rock in Attica, Indiana. There's a look at your Ready Lift off-road suspension leaderboard as we go into round 2 for day 2. Keep in mind they went through the course 4 times on day 1. They'll go through it 4 more times here on day 2.
And the course will have changed here as well on day number 2. Mike Thompson nails it. His spotter, Ray Stedward, says, you know what, I'm just going to get out of your way here.
Digging in, trying to get up stuff. I don't think a billy goat could get up some of this stuff. And I mean, this is exactly the customer that Ready Lift off-road suspension is geared up for. I mean, these guys and gals come out here and love to do this on the weekend, not necessarily always for competition, but just to come out here to Attica with your 4-wheel drive truck or Jeep and have a great time. And that's why they can appreciate what they're seeing here, because it is nothing short of exceptional what this equipment can do.
Very tall task right there. And I mean, that thing was almost a vertical wall, and it's not smooth either. So, I mean, there's a lot more to it. As you mentioned, the fans can really appreciate what they are seeing here today.
It's so tough. As you can see, ground clearance is everything here, as is traction. The spotters can come into play, but they can also cost you points. Let's get it over to Rob Klepper. He's with one of the competitors.
In the Pro Modified division, Derek West is, well, he's been on fire. A 1st and a 3rd coming into Attica. Mother Nature laying down a little bit of water. But talk about these Pro Modified rigs, because they're pretty impressive, bud.
Yeah, the Pro Modified class is a great class to get into. You know, we've got something that resembles a little bit of a, of a vehicle, whether it's a Jeep or Toyota, however. But mine's built by Jimmy's 4x4, and I've been having vehicles built by them for the past 3 years, so I love this car. You know, we do racing as well as off-road rock crawling with it, so it's very versatile as far as what we can do with it.
For someone that wants to get into the sport, what's the cost of one of these things, and how much time does it actually take to put it together?
Well, a person can build one themselves, and I'm fully capable of doing that, but I know that like Jimmy's 4x4, they've got their stuff down. They know the geometry, how to do that, and they've got packages that are going to start from, you know, a good turnkey vehicle is going to start $65,000 and go up, but you can build one yourself using junkyard parts, and you can probably put something together for $15,000.
Well, it seems very reasonable, so to speak. What about Mother Nature today and these obstacles with the extra added benefit of water?
You know, it definitely plays a role in things. You know, the last event we had, it rained on day 2, just like it is today. You know, you just got to do the best you can. The lines that you looked at completely changed because you thought you could crawl something. Now you've got to shoot it. So it's a pretty big deal out here today.
The best of the best going at it, and Shelby is hoping she can get up there in the hunt. Billy is the spotter, and she's trying to push her way up over this boulder.
Now got eye centered right on the center section of that rear end, which actually is on the front, obviously, of this racing machine.
And she doesn't want to back up, because if you back up, you're adding points, albeit just one.
Oh!
But that is a worse alternative right there. And she has not given up. You can see her actually turning into that. Sometimes they'll leave them running and try to pull themselves out, but unfortunately, she's in a tough spot there. She could time out if they can't get a turn back over.
And you could even see when she was kicking that thing in the rear end by way of the throttle pedal, she moved a great big boulder that was about 3/4 the size of that left rear wheel. Shelby will get out, and you will see this reaction